Have you ever had the feeling that you should have followed the road instead of cutting through what is pretty much a cornfield? Still, this is the route that I've chosen. I must be mad. Good afternoon, guys. Today's adventure brings us to an abandoned, disused quarry, etc. There is supposed to be some, people say they're underground caves. They're not. It's where they knocked down the plant, the works that was there originally, and what's left is sort of under mounds of rubble, but you've got, I guess you could call them bunkers. We're going to go and try and find them, explore them, and this is a notorious place over the years for where people would dump and burn cars, so you could find a car graveyard, should we say. Anyway guys, hope you enjoy it. I'm getting ripped to pieces at the moment in this field, but it's all good fun. Here, look behind me. Crazy. Okay guys, catch you in a bit. We find ourselves situated just behind the Thameslink train track, and the M1 is just there as well. This is a place called Sundon Park. You have Luton in the distance and Dunstable. Behind me, a small little village of Charlton and Sundon itself. I'm not going to use these stairs for now going down, and this whole area is a sort of type of area I'm going to be exploring. There, the pits go further along the back here, but where we first want to go to these bunker places is around that location, so I'm going to get on the main path and make my way down there. Yeah, this is so much easier than cutting through a cornfield. Sometimes I just need to use my common sense, but don't know where I am, to be honest with you. I've just followed by Google Earth and the maps I've seen to follow this route down here. It's actually quite a peaceful and quiet area. This is privately owned land, but there is free public access to it. You've got a bridleway at the back there which cuts through, so naturally I believe they've got to do that, but yeah, it's interesting. That's a really old sign, take no notice of that. Obviously people have been making camps up here. Okay guys, I've found the bunker entrance, so before I enter it I'll show you how I got here. I followed the path that trailed down there, and there's a fork. It point there and it comes up here. Just follow it naturally all the way up here and you'll come across these two trees. Now if you walk down here, it's approximately 50 meters maybe. Walk through this area, you'll see the top of the bunker. It's actually quite cool, quite scary, quite spooky. Don't know what I'm going to find down there. That's one entrance right there. If I can slow this down a bit. And the other entrance, which I'll be going in, is right here. So I shall switch the phone to ND light off because it's going to be dark in there. Get my torch out. Okay guys, I'm going in blind. I've not gone in at all yet to see what it's like. Oh, it's dark. Hello? I can see from the ceiling that someone's had a fire in here before. I don't know whether it's a storeroom. This is what people just dumped here. That was some sort of, possibly an old workbench. There's no plumbing facilities in there. There's something on the wall there. This is actually quite cool. It's got a cold feel to it down here. Just a lot of pit areas, but there's this piping at the back. More scorch marks. It's a load of rubble. Someone allegedly is gay. Okay, that's your other entrance that you see before. Let's have a look at that. See, that's actually moulded. And the brickwork looks as if it's painted white, so I don't know, is it a washroom, a storeroom? Let's go down there in a bit. I've seen maybe half a dozen videos of this area to look what was in here. I've actually got hairs standing up on the back of my neck right now. My main fear of coming down here would have been to go into a room and there's a pigeon in it, because you know what they like when they flutter. Yeah, so I've come from that way. I'll show you down here. And this will give you deception. If I turn off the torch instantly, you'll see how dark it is. There we go, pitch black. The ground's dry, if that helps. So I can have a store cupboard. Who needs the hellfire cabins or caves down in High Wycombe when you got this? That's another way out. A lot of moss growing. Fallen masonry. But it's quite sturdy, guys. This has been up for, since the early 1900s. There's nothing else down here. I don't think you can see the brickwork. That was not half as bad as I expected it to be. It's one of these face your fear things. Coming in blind, I didn't bother coming in beforehand to get the lay of the place, see what it was like. There could have been wild animals down here. A fox or a badger could have been in here for the night and could have disturbed them, or it could have been bees or wasps. But fortunately none of that. Does give me the vibes of Halloween Horror Nights. If I explain to you what that's like, so if I go back here, if I was on Halloween Horror Nights, you'd be going through an alleyway like this, and as you get to a point like this, someone will be dressed up and jump out on you. Worth a look. It's cold down here, I'll tell you that much. So if it's a hot day and you want to get out of the sun, come and do some exploring down here. Not as bad as I expected it to be with rubbish, etc. Well, that's an experience. Here we go. Haven't seen that before. So that is some sort of water, gas. It's totally off. I think in total there's been, I probably add to the videos of these now, and there's probably been half a dozen done over the years. But we did it. We survived. Being honest with you guys, when I first come about doing this, I was bricking it. I've had a bit of a dicky belly this morning for the excitement, adrenaline, the fear factor of just coming up, doing this down here by myself. There's no one else about. There could be dog walkers, there could be guys on dirt bikes over the back, etc. But I'm glad I've done it. On to the next bit. I've seen a YouTube video from years ago, probably early 90s, Some guys made a base camp down here, made a tin shack. That video, if you look up that on YouTube, anything that I'm doing today, if you look up Sundon pits, it could be Sundon pits bunker, or just the dirt bikers going about, you might get a chance to view videos of people that have been around this area. What I believe they done when they demolished the site, the brickworks that were, I believe it was 1899 to 1976. Once they demolished that, they scooped everything up and they just basically didn't worry about this bottom level. I suppose you're talking that era, there was no such thing as urbex, or not that we would know it today, because we've got the media. They didn't have it then. People probably went out and explored, but this has stood like this for best part of 40 years. Looks like he's had a few shotgun blasts, but no, I'm pretty sure a shotgun would have gone through that. Maybe just someone's done the effect of it to scare people off. See, someone's made a camp here at some point as well. That's some sort of steel. The heck is that? That is weird. There's a lot of bugs over there, but I might have a closer look. Obviously this probably would have been another way into another bunker area, but that is weird. And I would say that was here originally. I'm standing on top of this bunker. I'm not going down there. I could fit down there, but it's climbing back out. And although you get a signal with your phone in this area, you don't fancy wanting to be rescued. There's more of your experienced urbexers that do that. Yeah, another bunker you can go down. I believe that goes about maybe 10 metres back. This place is just strewn with what's like rabbit holes, but for humans to go down and explore. More areas, more tunnels. It's like a labyrinth of them around here. I'm just simply too old and too big to start doing these sort of things. That one goes quite a way back. And you've got the old stalactites and stalagmites in that one. And there's a trough in there full of water. You can see the chalk. I think it used to be an old conveyor belt type thing, but I think you can see from that the curvature that they just demolished it. And I don't know whether you say they didn't do a very good job. People nowadays are loving the fact that they didn't, because they can go in there and explore that. You can get in that. It's not too steep, but I won't be doing it. There are rumours in this area of sightings and markings of the so-called beast, Black Panther of Bedfordshire. Throughout the years, in any area like this, you get local folklore. My dad even had a story of local to us. We had Brick Hill Woods, and he turned around and said one day he was out there chestnut picking. He walked out of a thicket, sort of similar to this behind me. He walked along, he come out, and in the distance he see what he believed was a creature. He said it was tiger-like in shape. It was not tall, but it was long. But he said its coat was brindle. So could have been a stray dog, could have been a normal dog walking about with its owner. And your eyes play tricks on you when you're alone. I mean, I'm alone by myself. I have a distinctive feeling that something is in amongst the trees and the bushes, walking around behind me in the distance, but I think that's more your muntjac deer or something similar. You could, it's feasible, you could have the likes of a lynx that could live for a while, but you're talking all these stories, they go back for 3-4 decades, and the life of a big cat, I just can't see it. And although at some point they're going to go to some sort of demise, there's never any evidence of their bones. So I'll quash that one to one side and we'll carry on. I said you got your Thames Link line and the M1 directly behind where we are. To get to the location where I am, your easiest option is to probably get off at junction, would it be junction 12, and make your way, head to Sundon. There is a road called Church Lane. Park there. If you look on Google Earth, you'll see a little parking area near some houses, and then you'll see a natural pathway through the cornfield, which I cut through and cut my legs to pieces instead of using the path. It said public bridle way, and you get yourself down the back here, like these pavements here. They're dry, doesn't matter if it's rained, etc. Our next destination is the pit area itself over there, which would have been linked to the quarry. I'm hoping that there could be some abandoned, burnt out cars. There always used to be, and if you look on Google Earth you'll see piles and stacks of them, like an apocalyptic graveyard of cars. There we go. I said I believe something was following me. If you look, if I can focus in a little bit, there's a little muntjac deer just on the edge there. Quite eerie when you're walking along and you hear this creeping along, following you in the bushes and the trees. Yeah, let him be on his way. How come I'm off on a Thursday and Friday of this week, as well as a Saturday and Sunday? Over here in the UK we have the Queen's, I believe it's a Platinum Jubilee. She's been on the throne 75 years, I think it is. Yeah, it's got to be, because I went to the Silver Jubilee, which is the 25th, and I'm 51, so does that make sense? Whatever it is, anyway, the Jubilee itself, over in the UK, we've got extra holidays. They moved what we call bank holidays. We would have had one at the end of May. They've moved that to Friday, and for the Jubilee itself, they've given us an extra day off, so we've got Thursday off as well. So apart from Rachel, she hasn't got that. She's got work to do, but it's more of enjoyment for her now. It's not like she had back in the days. She's not in a store anymore. She's doing something she really loves and is really contributing and making a difference to people's lives. It's like a scene out of a science fiction movie. Some strange planet. This area here, as I said before, was a dumping ground for your stolen cars. They'd throw them over the top there and then come along later and set light to them. It looks as if there's not many remnants left. Looks as if someone's come in and cleared up. Well, I have a look around just in case. I can see bonnets and wheels, etc. But here, I know in the past there's been cars sitting here. If you look at Google Earth, you'll see piles of them. I might get lucky, we just don't know. Let's go and have a look. What a great place to bring a dirt bike. You can see from the scars in the landscape that that's obviously what it's been used for in the past. And it's 4x4s. I've seen a video of two guys. One's on a 4-stroke. I just see a bunny run along. They come up here and they attempted to do the bank up there. One cleared it quite easily. The other one just about managed to get to the top before he skied his bike and fell off the back of it. But people have died here. There was a guy in a 4x4. He flipped his vehicle. I think someone actually walked off the edge of that by accident. And I think there's been biking incidents where people have been seriously hurt or worse. So you just got to take it easy when you're in these places. I would never recommend doing anything like this. If you're going to come along with a dirt bike, make sure there's at least 2 or 3 of you. Hello, bunny. Do love me bunnies. What you doing? That's cool. Get to see beautiful wildlife. I'll let you be. Go on. The question has to be asked, if they did get all these vehicles out, how did they get them out? I guess they could have brought in a low loader, but these were burnt out wrecks. It's not the sort of thing that you could naturally lift. And I always say nature finds a way. It's weird that you've got things growing up through what is basically clay and chalk. Look, there's an abundance of insect life. As you've already seen, the muntjac deer and a few bunnies bouncing about. You can see doors off vehicles and bonnets, etc. have bits and pieces that have come out as they've come over the top of that. But it does appear that they have removed them all. Nice one, just find one. There's clearly a burnt out upside down vehicle of some sort over there, and remnants of other ones just by the side of me, but this is all swampy and marsh and I just can't traverse my way through it. Someone's possibly BMX has seen better days. See, that's been a bit of a wildfire over the past. I walked as far as I could along here in the hope that I could get to the remnants of them vehicles just down there. But as you can see, this area that I had to try and get through, that is all thick claggy clay. It's wet where it's absolutely hammered it down with rain during the week, and you're just going to get bogged down and stuck, and it's just not worth it for what appears to be not much left of one vehicle. But the whole area was strewn with these, so they've obviously done a job to go and get them out. Maybe it's something to do with insurance claims. Maybe they can get engine numbers, chassis numbers, etc. I honestly could not tell you what that once was. Not even going to try and second guess. It helps it was red or maroon, but yeah, there must have been at some point maybe 20-30 cars down here all dumped. They've thrown them over the top of this cliff, and that's where they met their demise. There was this patch here, you can see. There was another patch over there, and I think there might have been some further on. As I leave and make my way out, because I've got right in the distance over there, the pit area, the bunker that I went to is probably a good half a mile further on down there. As you can tell by that, I've walked a hell of a long way, and I'll make my way back through this, see if I can come across any remnants of any other vehicles. But yeah, it's just not worth it for the state of one poor car down there. I could traverse that, but it's then getting back out, so it's as close as we could get. There are some serious steep drops around here. Jackpot, we found one that's accessible. What even was that? Land Rover maybe? Certainly a 4x4. It's not even a 2x2 or anything now, there's nothing left of it. Someone's had their fun and torched it. Oh wow. I knew they were about. I wonder if that went with a bang. What a mess. There's not much left of that now. Always said it was a car graveyard. If anyone can get the information off that. Yes, you know, it's definitely, is that Land Rover? Yeah, Land Rover. It's seen better days, should we say. That's where your steering wheel would have been, and your pedals, but there's not much left. Bet that must have been some extreme temperature to do that. Now I don't believe it's the heat that's folded in the roof. So yeah, that is a mess. And obviously they had their fun beforehand, because you can see the clay round the back. I would imagine this marks possibly an area, or just a peaceful area, paying homage to the guy that sadly passed, who flipped his 4x4. You can see there's a anchor point on the bit of the grave. I think these are just fellow guys that have put that together. But wow, what a humbling sight. Just shows you there is real danger in these areas. The cliffs are steep. It's really sad. May he rest in peace. Classic 4x4 run area. I wouldn't attempt it. It's actually quite beautiful. Final look at this tail end of the pit area as I make my way more into the wooded area and back to where the bunker was, and then head back home. It's been good. More footings that could possibly lead to other bunkers in the area. It might just be solid concrete. I'll have a look around the area anyway. It's all pretty good stuff. I said I'd never done this before. So this is all part of the works. You can see the concrete on the floor. Original foundations. By the looks of it, I'd say this area has been sealed. You probably could, if you were small, make your way into that. But you've got to be pretty strong and pretty level-headed to even attempt that, or even crazy. I certainly wouldn't. Although I think it's going to be solid. You can see that's big solid steel girders with concrete and brickwork, but no, you attempt that at your own peril. There is something in there. Don't know what that noise is. What the heck is that? I'd say obviously bird, but I couldn't tell you what. A mixture of loose rocks, concrete, lime, soot, sand, etc. over the years has formed this alienish landscape. It's quite cool. I'm guessing with this being an old lime quarry, that must be limestone. It's certainly big. Now that is strange, because that's like, is it calcite? You'd expect that to grow on the inside of a cave in the dark, but this is exposed to the elements outside. I mean, look, blue sky. So that really is weird. And again, the whole place is weird. Find our way back to where we originally started and set out. I'm pretty much on top of that bunker now. It's been a really good day. Who thought you could have so much fun just walking around exploring things? Oh, that's a big mushroom. It's still a no from me. I'm not going down there, because I might never come back. And so guys, this area brings us back to where we started. It was a bit sketchy, you might say. Kind of freaked me out when I first done it, going into the bunker behind me when you're doing it alone, but of course I wasn't alone, you guys are with me. It was eerie. You had an element of cold going in there. I literally went in there blind. I didn't look in there beforehand. I thought it's the only way to do it, to show you guys the true feeling of doing something like this by yourself. And we got through it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the pit afterwards. Did find a couple of cars, which is one good thing. It got a bit boggy, so the area I wanted to get to, they cleared the cars anyway, but then we found that Land Rover that was burnt out, so it added to it. All in all, I've enjoyed it. We'll come back here one day for sure. And anyway guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know we haven't even started yet. The plan is, don't know what I'm doing tomorrow yet, but the plan's Saturday. We can go and queue up. We didn't get tickets in advance. There was a Comic Con in Milton Keynes, so you've got cozy players, you've got stalls, there's all sorts, there's a wrestling ring, there's all sorts of bits and pieces going on there. So the idea is we'll queue up, get in when we can, I'll vlog what I can, and it's just something different for you guys to watch. Anyway guys, be safe, have a good one. I'll see you in the movies. Bye for now.